The Cannes Film Festival, one of the most notorious film festivals ever. It's held every May in the seaside city of Cannes, France. It's both a celebration of cinema and a showcase of glamour. The festival is invite only, so not anyone can just stroll in and watch movies, of course, even though we'd all like to. It's an exclusive gathering of filmmakers, critics, journalists, actors, and industry insiders. For decades, it's been a place for auteurs to premiere their boldest work and celebrities to parade down the red carpet. The highest prize you can get there is the Palme d'Or, awarded to the best film in the competition, and it's kind of like the picture of the year, if you will, for the Oscars. Taxi Driver, Pulp Fiction, The Pianist, Parasite, these are all movies that have won that award. With that said though, Cannes is a pretty pretentious festival as well. In my opinion, I think it's really pompous the way that some of these people act. The dress code is notoriously strict, along with the crazy unspoken hierarchies, who gets into what screenings, who sits where, who gets invited to the exclusive after parties, and critics sometimes mock this as a place where filmmakers release slow experimental films. But as you could tell from the title of this video, today I'm going to be looking at probably one of the most absurd and funniest aspects of the festival: the standing ovations. I don't know what it is about movie watching at this particular festival, but it's notorious for holding some of the longest standing ovations I've seen. Of course, standing ovations in this case means everyone standing up and applauding this movie after it's finished. But it's actually laughable at how long these people actually sit there and clap, just staring at the celebrities, staring at the actors and directors. So it's understandable for you to clap at the end of a piece of work or a piece of media, just like this one, especially when the creators are there standing in front of you, and it is in a festival setting. This isn't just some random movie theater. So there's really not any problem with that. But it's the length of which these people actually sit here and clap for a certain movie. When I go out and I see a musical or a play or some kind of live performance, it actually makes sense to sit there and clap for several minutes, 5-10 minutes. I mean, that's kind of a stretch, but somewhere around 5 minutes just sitting there clapping. And that's because the actual cast of the musical kind of comes out. They go out one by one, and the applause just kind of continues in one long, uninterrupted segue. You're just continuing to clap, and it makes sense because there's things happening. You know, the cast is there lined up, they're bowing. Whatever you saw, any kind of live performance, they're bowing to the audience, they're introducing, or they're, you know, showing individual highlights of who was in the musical. So it makes total sense to me. But this is not that case. They didn't just do a performance in front of you. You actually just watch a movie on a screen, and then the actors come out, and it's just like clapping longer than if you were to see a live performance, which is crazy. So how long are these uninterrupted periods of clapping, you may ask? Where this is somewhere between 5 minutes, which is kind of long, to the insane 20 plus minutes of clapping and awkwardly staring at the actors. So Cannes Film Festival isn't the only one to do these. There's several other film festivals that have these long standing ovations, but Cannes Film Festival is probably the most notorious. And I haven't seen many clips, but I can only imagine how awkward it is as the director or the actor to just stand there in this crowd of clapping people basically for 10-15 minutes. I mean, that's crazy. I don't even know how I would respond. I mean, I would definitely be flattered. It's a good thing. It's not a bad thing by any means, but it's just insanely long and over the top to be clapping for 15 minutes straight. That's absurd, and I don't even know how I would react to that. At a certain point, I mean, at the 5-minute mark, I'd probably be looking at my watch, like thinking like, okay, thank you very much, but can we move on with something else at this point? Because that's absurd. But anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the longest standing ovations in Cannes history, going from the very bottom all the way to the very top of the two movies that got the longest standing ovations in history. But before I do that, please be sure to hit that subscribe button. Stay up to date with the latest videos just like this one. Really appreciate all the support, and let me know below if you think these movies were worthy of clapping or not. Alright, so we're going to start off at the 5-minute mark. So these movies got 5 minutes worth of standing ovations, which is not insane. I mean, it depends. 5 minutes could be a long time or a short amount of time, depending on who you ask. But these movies got 5 minutes worth of clapping. So first off, we have Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. This one really confused me. When I think of Cannes Film Festival, I think of artsy movies or more dramatic roles, movies with more substance, not blockbusters like Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. So this one was really shocking, and I didn't think the movie was very good at all. Probably the worst Indiana Jones. Yes, I think it's worse than Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, the one before it. And yeah, this one apparently got 5 minutes. I guess they loved it over there, and they were, yeah, that's insane to me. Top Gun Maverick also got 5 minutes standing ovation. That's an excellent movie, absolutely incredible, honestly. Another blockbuster, so another very surprising thing. I guess not all the movies at the Cannes Film Festival are pretentious, artsy pieces or anything like that, but yeah, I mean, this one is deserving of a good, solid standing ovation. So 5 minutes, if I were to say anything, I think this one's alright. The Idol, that horrible show, that TV series, The Idol with The Weeknd. Yeah, apparently that one also got a 5-minute standing ovation. I guess they loved that one. I don't know what to say about that one. That's crazy. At 6 minutes, we have Furiosa and Kinds of Kindness. I thought both those movies were very good, neither of which I think are worthy of 6-minute standing ovation. But hey, you know what? Those are pretty decent. Alright, moving up one more minute up, we got 7-minute standing ovation, which we actually just hit around the 7-minute mark right now. So if you've been watching this video in its entirety, somebody sat there and clapped that entire time. I was just talking right now, so keep that in mind when we go through these. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the Quentin Tarantino Hollywood epic, which I wasn't a huge fan of, but I can understand why people would give it a standing ovation, and it had a star-studded cast: Margot Robbie, Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio, and of course, the man Quentin Tarantino. So I understand the long standing ovation for this one. Megalopolis. So everyone pause right now. What on earth was this doing here? I don't understand. This movie was bad in a lot of ways. I thought it was a complete utter mess, and I respect Francis Ford Coppola, but Megalopolis was an absolute disaster in my opinion. So the fact that all these French people sat there, or I'm sorry, stood there should I say, and clapped for 7 minutes straight is diabolical in my opinion, and I don't know. And I, again, love Francis Ford Coppola's energy, passion for the craft, and he funded all this, so I get it, but this movie wasn't it. I'm sorry, I wouldn't stand for that. I think I'd go to the bathroom at this point. Like, okay, what are we doing? Next we have Anora, also got 7 minutes. Pretty good. I like this movie a lot. Again, 7 minutes is a bit much. I mean, from here on out, every single one of these is going to be a bit too much, to be honest. It's almost at the 10-minute mark. But yeah, Anora, very good movie. And then The Phoenician Scheme, that came out this year. I haven't seen it, but if you did see it, it got a 7-minute standing ovation. Alright, at the 8-minute mark, we had two movies here. We had a couple of movies, but these are the only two that I saw, so I'm touching on them. May December, it was a based on true story movie from a couple of years back. It starred Natalie Portman and Julianne Moore, and it was a complete utter drag. I thought it was a super slow, not the most interesting story, pretty boring if I must say. I wasn't a fan of the movie, and I guess they gave it 8 minutes worth of standing ovation. Who knows? I don't know. I'm just as confused. And then Triangle of Sadness. This movie, I really liked it, and it wasn't French. I don't think it could have been French maybe. I forgot the origin of this one, but the national origin of it, but I don't know. This one also got 8 minutes. Kind of strange. All right, now at the 9-minute mark, we're almost at the 10-minute mark. Here at the 9, we have Martin Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon, which came out last year or 2 years ago. I can't remember exactly. I think it came out 2 years ago. But yeah, Killers of the Flower Moon, overly long movie in my opinion, but very good. Martin Scorsese, one of the best. So again, this one, I understand why they gave it a long standing ovation. And then we have Emilia Perez, also at 9-minute standing ovation. That's a travesty. you ever needed evidence that the Cannes Film Festival is kind of a joke, it would be this movie right here. It would be the fact that they gave Emilia Perez a 9-minute standing ovation. I have a full video on why Emilia Perez is terrible. You can click the eye on the screen right now. I'll put it in there. But yeah, this movie is awful in so many different ways. It's a disconjointed, horrible musical, horrible acting, terrible, very politically driven, which is whatever, but it won a bunch of awards just because of that. The movie has zero substance. It sucks, and that's absolutely crazy that it got 9 minutes. All right, we've hit the 10-minute mark. So how long it takes you to eat a meal, a small meal, that's where we're at right now. 10 minutes of standing in one place and uninterruptedly clapping your hands, to the point where they're starting to get numb at this point. Carol and Black Klansman, those were two that stood out to me. Both completely undeserving of 10 minutes. That's wild. And Black Klansman is okay, and then Carol is also okay. So that's crazy to me. All right, going up to 11 minutes now. So I'm gonna start skipping a little bit from here on out. There was a lot of movies I regrettably haven't seen, but I will put the link in the description for the Wikipedia page that kind of breaks down the list, and I showed it in the video as well, so you can kind of see it. But yeah, at 11 minutes we have The Substance, which came out also 2 years ago, or 1 year ago, I think, last year, and Inglourious Bastards, another Quentin Tarantino movie. Both great movies. I love them both. So, it kind of pains me to say it, but also, again, 11 minutes is a long time to clap for that long. So, yeah, but both excellent movies, if don't get me wrong. I could see an argument for that. All right, so I'm going to skip, the 12, 13, 14, 15. Those all had movies I've never heard of. So, I'm going to go over to 17-minute standing ovation. So, we're up there now. Now we're at the top 5 longest standing ovations at the Cannes Film Festival ever. So 17 minutes, that's insane amount of time. And that is Nicholas Winding Refn's Neon Demon. So I don't know what happened to this director. I actually did like some of his movies. I thought Neon Demon was okay, not as good as Drive or Only God Forgives. But yeah, this one, apparently they loved this one. 17 minutes standing there clapping. In 2018, we have Matthew McConaughey's movie Mud, which got 18 minutes standing ovation. So now we're getting up there now. Now we're well in the double digits now. Insanity. This year in 2025, Sentimental Value got a crazy 19 minutes worth of standing ovation. I haven't seen this one. It is on my list to see. I believe it's by the same director who made The Worst Person in the World, which I was a big fan of a couple of years ago. If you haven't seen that movie, it's actually quite a good movie. So same director, same actress, if I'm not mistaken, I think. So that one I definitely want to check out, but hey, that one got 19 minutes. All right, and then we're gonna top it off with the two movies that received the longest standing ovation at the Cannes Film Festival in 2004. The Michael Moore documentary Fahrenheit 9/11 aired at Cannes and ended up getting an absurd 20-minute standing ovation. I mean, could you imagine? Truly, could you imagine? I can't imagine that. 20 minutes? You're telling me 20 minutes worth? At that point, they're probably thinking, we're never going to stop clapping. I think we should just clap for the rest of our lives now. I would literally be looking around and thinking, are we really still clapping? I would have stopped clapping for sure, but I would be looking around at my colleagues and talking to them in French, asking, what are we doing? Arrêtez, stop clapping. All right, and then finally, we got one more here. The longest standing ovation in the 50 years history of Cannes goes to Guillermo del Toro's 2006 dark fantasy Pan's Labyrinth, sitting at a wild and absurd 22 minutes of clapping. So to put this in perspective, this is longer than probably a TV show episode, not factoring in ads that you see on TV. There's a lot of shows, South Park, Attack on Titan, I mean any of these shows, The Bear, that 20 minutes, the entire episode is 20 minutes. So imagine clapping from the beginning to the end of an episode like that. I mean, that's ridiculous. This is close, almost, it's 8 minutes off from 30 minutes, half an hour of clapping. I mean, but talking about the movie itself, though, I mean, Pan's Labyrinth is an amazing movie. I love that one. He's truly is a visionary. Del Toro is a visionary for sure, and that's a great movie for sure. So I don't, at least the top longest standing ovation movie is at least a decent movie. But wow, this is just ridiculous. This is insane. But hey, at least it's a good movie. But those are the longest standing ovation movies over the past 50 or so years. Obviously, there's a lot more. But yeah, I mean, say what you will about how good these movies are not. I will always laugh when I see headlines, and they always use it as buzz. That's one of the things that I see in these newer movies, indie movies. They always use it. This movie got 15-minute standing ovation at Cannes. This movie got 10-minute standing ovation at Cannes. It's a great hype tactic, definitely for these creators. So I don't know if this is something that they rig or what, but I mean, or this is just something that you kind of go with the crowd. Like, okay, they were waiting for people to stop clapping and they just don't, so they keep going. So I don't know if that really is relevant to how good the movie is. Of course, Pan's Labyrinth is great, so I understand why it definitely deserves standing ovation. But yeah, it's crazy, and I see some of these movies like I went through that are not good at all, and I just laugh at that. To be honest, I'm really makes you question the validity of them as well, because some of these are, no offense, trash movies, not worthy of even a clap, let alone standing up for them clapping. But anyways, we're hitting around the 16 minute mark right now in the video. So again, if you clap through the entirety of this episode, the entirety of this video, that's how long some people clap for a movie that finished. So just consider that. But thank you very much for watching. This is a little interesting video, but appreciate all the support, and I will catch you on the next video.